Pause right there. That is professional pianist Hayato Sumino. At just the age of 10, he's playing Chopin Scherzo No. 1 in front of a huge audience, while the average 10-year-old can't tell between their left and right. Now, Hayato Sumino is just one of many professional pianists, but how to even get to that point? Do you have to be that good, that young to even stand a chance? How do you actually become a trained pianist? Now, while AI tells you that all you need is consistent practice, formal education, and building a strong network, we all know that this is of course horseshit. Consistent practice of Baba Black Sheep and the formal education of what I can only call as my 7th grade band practice will get me nowhere other than of course a McDonald's job application. Now, what we really need is a plan. Now, before we begin our hypothetical, let's set off some ground rules. Now, for this scenario, we'll assume that you have A, no prior piano experience, B, you're not musically talented in any way, and C, you're now 5 years old. Because starting at age 30 to become a pianist will start your professional career at 60. Now, being a healthy 5-year-old, you're completely new to this world. Now, you have just begun breathing, and what better time to set off a life of financial and emotional regret than right now? Now, some of you may be inquiring, why did I make you a 5-year-old? Now, while you have the same cognitive development as a ripe papaya, you also have something called psychological plasticity to learn new things, such as piano. Now, this is the same reason why children have an easier time learning new languages, as it's easier for them to form new neural connections. Now, to my knowledge, there have been very few pianists that have begun learning at the age of 20 to 30 that have become incredibly successful. Now, the very few that have done this had extensive formal training in adjacent instruments such as the violin. Now, while you cannot make your own decisions at this age, your parents gently coerced you into taking lessons. Now, because rule number 2 says you're not talented in any way, you're gonna have to make up for that with hard work. And while the quote, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard tries to illustrate this is only said by lazy bums. Now, most successful pianists have a combination of talent and hard work, but if you're lacking the former, you have to double up on the latter. Now, at this point, what is something very overlooked is the importance of a teacher. Now, having the equivalent of Master Oogway teaching you Kung Fu ensures the proper growth of technique, music theory, and ear training from the start. Now, you may have heard of terms such as RCM and ARCT thrown around, and while the Royal Conservatory of Music is a key stepping stone for some professionals, it does not mean you're a professional once you obtain the Associate Diploma or ARCT. Now, another thing that you did not expect was the sheer time commitment and consistency throughout your childhood. Now, most professionals have played for 15 plus years with 3 to 5 hours of deliberate training each day. Now, having done the same thing for the last 13 years, you fast forward to age 18, and while you're thankfully out of Diddy's radar, the journey has just begun. Now, most people at this point in their lives will either take the unconventional route of dropping out of college or just staying in college. Now, if you're a pianist and want to do something that'd be valuable to your experience, which of these bachelor degrees would you choose? A, Bachelor of Music, B, Science, or C, Computer Science? Yeah, the correct answer is of course Bachelor of Science, because a degree in music is of course a Carl's Jr. job application in disguise, and a degree in computer science is worth the same as toilet paper. However, I see our plan was in fact not to be rich, so I guess to be a pianist, pick Bachelor of Music. So we have picked out our major and assembled our classes. But what now? Now, oftentimes the structure within a degree in music can provide additional education, performance opportunities, and the much needed networking. Now, college is the place to expand your talents to hopefully not end up in a room teaching a 4-year-old the C major scale. So put yourself out there, beef up your resume with valuable experience, and have fun. Now, once you complete your bachelor's degree, this is where things start to get complicated. You see, unlike medical school or law school, there is no specific route to further your journey. You could take a master's degree to obtain more specialized training and performance opportunities, or you can go right into your career. You have finally made it. You have reached what many thought to be the impossible, the Mount Everest of achievements. You are now homeless. Now, after graduating with a piece of paper in your hands, dread starts to set in as you realize that your career is all up to you now. Now at this point, there are 4 general career paths that you may choose from. A concert pianist. Now these guys are the superstars performing on stage. Think of the big names: Zimmerman, Liszt, Chopin, and of course Kanye. Now B, an accompanist. Now not quite as honorable, but these pianists provide the musical support like your fucking therapist. Now this is still better than C, teaching, where you spend most of your days correcting some toddler in a 2x1 room. And of course, there is always the secret ending of D, a Five Guys cashier. Now, I think most of us would go with option A, but it's much easier said than done. A concert pianist takes the best of the best, and just because you're good doesn't mean shit. Now, from the previous step, you really need to put yourself out there. Now, winning international piano competitions will put your skill on the map, giving orchestras the talent that they are looking for. It's also crucial at this step to find yourself an agent. Now, just like in acting, an agent will help you secure performance contracts and record deals. And so, after enrolling in an international piano competition, you find yourself in 5th place. That's okay though, because next year you win the whole thing! Oh my god, deals come pouring in! You are on the front cover of whatever the equivalent of Sports Illustrated is for music, and you are rich. However, unfortunately, this reality is only possible for the very few. Just like in acting, bodybuilding, and sports, most people don't realize their dream even though they've put their soul into the craft. Which is why you should have majored in science!